Imagine sitting in a cold jail cell, counting the days until freedom, only to realize the world outside is burning without you. That's the reality for Blueface right now. But this isn't just a story about a rapper behind bars. This is about betrayal, humiliation, and a wound that cuts deeper than fame or fortune ever could, while Blueface waits in silence. The unthinkable is happening in his own mansion. His girlfriend Angela, the woman who promised loyalty, and his father Carl, the man who was supposed to protect him, are living under the same roof. At first, people thought it was harmless. It's just family holding things down. But then came the photos, Angela sipping wine with Carl, laughing like nothing was wrong. Then came the late-night videos, the arguments neighbors overheard, the cryptic Instagram stories that felt like stabs straight to Blueface's heart. The fans are shattered. Some cry out, calling it loyalty tested. Others scream betrayal, disgust, humiliation. And through it all, one question echoes louder than every rumor. When Blueface walks free, what will he find? A home or a battlefield? This isn't just gossip. This is tragedy unfolding in real time. A son locked away, powerless. A father crossing lines no father should. A girlfriend blurring the very definition of loyalty. It's a story of love turned to poison, trust turned to ashes, and a legacy that might crumble before his eyes. And here's the truth. When Blueface finally breaks his silence, the world won't be ready, because some betrayals don't just hurt, they destroy. Picture this. A man sits behind cold steel bars. The walls of his cell are silent, but his mind is screaming. That man is Blueface. And while the world knows him as the flashy rapper, the internet troublemaker, the reality TV wildcard, what's happening right now goes way beyond fame. This isn't about music, isn't about clout, this is about family, loyalty, and betrayal so deep it feels like tragedy. Blueface once flaunted his mansion as a symbol of victory. That house was his kingdom, his safe space, his empire. But now, that same mansion has turned into the scene of a nightmare. Because while he rots away in jail, the two people who should have been protecting his legacy might be destroying it. I'm talking about Angela, his girlfriend, the woman who swore she would hold him down, and Carl, his own father, the man who should have been his shield. Instead, whispers say they've been living together under that same roof. At first, fans wanted to believe it was harmless. Just a daughter-in-law figure. Just a father staying close to family. But then came the leaked photos of Angela sipping wine across from Carl, her legs crossed, his whiskey glass in hand. A scene too comfortable, too intimate, too wrong. Then the video's dimly lit footage of the two walking into the mansion at night, laughing, his arm hovering far too close to her waist. And then the neighbors claiming they heard screaming matches, Angela yelling, "You're not him!" While Carl's voice thundered back, "Somebody has to step up while he's gone." Can you imagine the pain of hearing this from behind bars? Imagine being Blueface, powerless, locked away, knowing your home, your sanctuary has become the stage of betrayal. The internet exploded. Hashtags like #NotTheDad and #BluefaceBetrayed trended worldwide. TikTok was flooded with edits, slow zooms of the photos set to heartbreak music. Captions like, "Imagine your dad and your girl while you sit in jail." Millions watched, millions cried, millions raged. Then came the video. Shot at night from outside the mansion gates, it showed Angela wrapped in a blanket, Carl carrying a bottle of wine, the two laughing as they walked inside. For fans, this was the breaking point. The comments section turned into a graveyard of heartbreak. "I actually feel sick watching this." Blueface's enemies couldn't break him, but his own family just did. This is beyond disrespect. This is evil. But the pain didn't stop with the fans. Celebrities jumped in. Rapper Lil Scrappy tweeted, "Not the dad. That's foul." Reality star Hazel E went live, shaking her head, calling Angela a clout chaser with no shame. And then came the dagger Chrissy in Rock, the woman who knew Blueface better than anyone, smirked into her camera and said, "Told y'all she wasn't loyal." Now look, up in his house with his dad, that's nasty. That's embarrassing. And when Blue gets out, it's over for both of them. Her words were gasoline poured onto a raging fire. Fans clipped her live, plastered it everywhere, and the internet roared louder than ever. But nothing compared to what happened next. A neighbor's muffled recording leaked online, shouting from inside Blueface's mansion. Angela's voice raw and furious. "You're not him. You'll never be him." And then Carl's voice booming. "Somebody has to step up while he's gone." The audio went viral in seconds. People cried. People cursed. People replayed it over and over. Imagine being Blueface. Hearing your girlfriend scream those words, hearing your own father say he had to step up, sitting in silence behind bars while your family tears your soul apart in public. That isn't just betrayal. That's heartbreak broadcasted for millions to dissect. And Angela, instead of silencing the rumors, she made it worse. Posting another cryptic Instagram story, this time with a glass of wine on a table set for two. In the reflection, fans spotted Carl's arm. The caption read, "I don't answer to nobody but myself." This was the final slap in the face. Bye. Now, this wasn't just scandal. This was tragedy. Fans weren't gossiping anymore. They were mourning Blueface's trust, his pride, his legacy. One fan wrote, "I never liked him, but no man deserves this." Another said, "This is the kind of betrayal that breaks a person forever." And through it all, Blueface stayed silent. No tweets, no phone calls. Just whispers from insiders saying he was furious, cutting off Angela, ready to confront Carl the moment he walked free. The mansion that once symbolized Blueface's success had become a haunted house filled with betrayal, humiliation, and secrets. And now the world waits. 'Cause when those prison gates open, the real tragedy begins. Will Blueface forgive? Or will this betrayal tear his family apart in front of the entire world? By now, the internet had already judged. The fans had already cried. The celebrities had already spoken. But one voice remained silent. The only voice that truly mattered, Blueface himself. Locked behind bars, he watched his empire collapse in real time. First came the photos, then the videos, then the screaming audio, and finally, the cryptic Instagram posts that turned loyalty into a sick joke. Each leak was a dagger, each rumor another twist of the knife. And through it all, he could say nothing. Imagine the pain. A man caged, unable to defend his name, his love, or his blood. But then the silence cracked. A close friend of Blueface posted a tweet, quickly deleted but screenshotted by thousands. It read, "Blue heard everything. He's furious. And when he comes out, he's cutting both of them off for good. Don't think he won't." That single line sent shockwaves across the internet. Fans didn't just expect anger anymore. Expected war. And then came the final leak that broke even the strongest hearts. A shaky video surfaced online, allegedly filmed inside Blueface's own living room. The clip showed Angela and Carl sitting side by side on the couch. Angela leaned into him, whispering something in his ear. Carl laughed, his hand brushing her arm. The caption read, "Family loyalty or family betrayal. You decide." It didn't matter if the video was staged, edited, or real. The damage was done. The internet went into mourning. One comment read, "This man's soul is being broken in public." Another, "You can recover from jail time, but not from this." Even worse, Angela poured gasoline on the fire. Hours after the video dropped, she posted a photo of herself lounging on Blueface's couch, his chain dangling in her hand. No caption, just silence. But silence spoke louder than words. Fans screamed betrayal. She's mocking him. She's already replaced him. This is beyond evil. Carl didn't help. Paparazzi spotted him walking out of a liquor store with Angela by his side. When asked if the rumors were true, he looked directly into the camera and muttered, "Y'all don't know the half of it." Those words chilled the internet. Because if this was only half, what horrors lived in the other half? The scandal had now grown bigger than Blueface himself. It wasn't just about his relationship. It wasn't just about family. It had become a symbol, a cultural conversation about loyalty, betrayal, and the kind of scars that never heal. Twitter Spaces ran all night. Instagram Lives hit record numbers. TikTok edits of Blueface's old videos where he spoke about loyalty and trust went viral. Fans wept, saying, "He knew this day would come. Look at his eyes. He always feared betrayal." And in the middle of all this chaos, industry insiders whispered that Blueface had cut off contact with Angela completely. That even Whack 100, his manager, couldn't calm him down. That he was waiting, watching, planning. Because when those prison gates opened, Blueface wouldn't just be walking back into the music industry. He'd be walking into a battlefield. A father who crossed the line. A girlfriend who mocked his loyalty. And a world that had already turned their pain into memes, hashtags, K, and gossip. The tragedy wasn't just the betrayal itself. It was the humiliation. A son who couldn't trust his father. A man who couldn't trust his love. A rapper who couldn't even trust the walls of his own home. And now, the question tearing through every headline, every comment section, every whispered conversation is this. When Blueface comes home, will he forgive? Will this betrayal destroy everything he has? Left his family, his love, and maybe even himself. Because some wounds don't heal, some scars never fade. And some betrayals break you forever. And now, the question isn't just about Angela. It isn't just about Carl. It's about the weight of betrayal itself. Because what we're watching isn't just scandal, it's tragedy unfolding in real time. A son abandoned by his own father. A man mocked by the very woman who swore to love him. And all of it playing out in front of millions of eyes. This isn't a headline. This is heartbreak. This is humiliation that no human being, no matter how rich, no matter how famous, deserves to endure. Blueface sits in silence while the world dissects his pain. But one thing is certain, silence never lasts forever. When those prison gates open, the story won't just continue, it will explode. Will Blueface forgive? Will he unleash fury? Or will this betrayal leave him broken beyond repair? Nobody knows. But one thing is guaranteed, the truth will shatter everything we thought we knew. And that's why I need you to stay with me. Because this isn't just drama, it's history in the making. Every leak, every photo, every cryptic post is another piece of a puzzle that could destroy an empire. And when Blueface finally speaks, when his voice breaks through the silence, you won't want to miss it. So do this right now. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Because trust me, the next chapter of this saga, it's not just going to trend, it's going to break the internet. This story isn't ending. It's only just beginning. And when the truth comes out, it'll be louder, darker, and more devastating than anyone can imagine.